If you've done the work to leave a narcissistic relationship and you're starting to date again, you might already know what green flags look like in theory. The problem is that knowing them and actually feeling safe when you see them are two completely different things. I'm a somatic trauma-informed coach, and I've been through this myself. And in this video, I'm going to show you the green flags that matter most in a new relationship and exactly why your nervous system is going to try and convince you they're dangerous. When you were with a narcissist, you learned a very specific pattern. Kindness came with strings attached and affection was followed by withdrawal, because the person who made you feel the safest was also the person causing you the most harm. So your brain did what it's designed to do. It stored all of that as data and it started predicting that warmth, attentiveness, and generosity are signs of danger. Lisa Feldman Barrett's research shows that the brain doesn't respond to the present moment neutrally. What it does is it takes your past experiences and uses it to predict what's happening right now and what's likely to happen next. So when a new person shows up and treats you well, your brain doesn't just think this is safe. It thinks, I've seen this before and I know how this ends. That's why even though you've learned every green flag on the interwebs, you still feel a level of anxiety when someone is consistently kind to you, because your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do and it's trying to protect you from bad things happening again. I noticed this early on with my partner. He would pick me up for dates and pay for dinner, and instead of feeling looked after, I would feel my stomach tighten. I kept thinking this is what love bombing feels like, and I was waiting for his act to drop or for him to just ghost me. So I didn't relax for a long time because I was scanning every kind gesture for what it was going to cost me. What eventually helped me was time and seeing that his behavior stayed consistent without any strings attached. And that's what I want to walk you through right now. So I'm going to talk you through the 4 green flag clusters and why your brain resists each one. The first one is pace and balance. A healthy relationship moves at a pace that is comfortable for both of you. You feel equally invested and you know where you stand because they tell you. There's no push and pull dynamic, there's no hot and cold behavior, and there's no grand gestures followed by days of silence. And you might feel resistant to this at first, because after the intensity of a narcissistic relationship, steadiness can feel like disinterest. The constant highs and lows of abuse condition your nervous system to read intensity as love and calm as indifference. So when someone shows up without drama, part of you might wonder if they actually care about you, because it doesn't feel like what you learned love to feel like. What you need to watch for instead is noticing whether the pace feels pressured or comfortable. A healthy partner won't fast track intimacy or make you feel like you're falling behind. The relationship develops in a way that feels like you're both choosing it. Number 2 is communication and honesty. In a healthy relationship, conversations go both ways. They're interested in your day, they listen, and they respond. And there's no silent treatment when things get difficult. And notably, they speak well of people in their life, including past partners, without bitterness or blaming the other person. But if you've spent years being talked over or gaslit or punished with silence, reciprocal communication can feel unfamiliar enough to feel suspicious. Some survivors in recovery describe finding rudeness as more trustworthy than kindness, because for them at least it feels like it's more honest. Open, two-sided communication can almost feel like it's too good to be true at first. So what you need to look for instead is, do they make space for you to speak, and do they actually listen? And when something is difficult, do they actually stay present in the conversation with you? And these aren't flashy, obvious behaviors, but that's exactly the point. Because healthy communication is steady without the dramatic slamming of doors. The 3rd green flag cluster is emotional safety, which means you can be honest with them without bracing for a reaction, and your boundaries are respected without resistance, pushback, or guilt. They validate how you feel even if they don't agree with you, and they also respect your need for alone time and independence without making you feel punished for needing it. But this is actually one of the most disorientating watching green flags for survivors, because emotional safety was used as a weapon in a narcissistic relationship. You were always given enough safety for you to stay, and then had it taken away as soon as you stepped out of line. So feeling emotionally safe in a new relationship can actually trigger your threat response, because your brain has learned that safety is the setup for bad things to suddenly come. So ask yourself this: does the safety stay consistent, or does it shift depending on whether they're getting what they want? Genuine emotional safety doesn't have conditions attached to it. The fourth one is consistency and action. This is the cluster that matters the most and also takes the longest to see. So do they show up the same way over time? Does their kindness have strings attached to it? Do they take responsibility when they get something wrong? Do they want you to grow, and will they support that when it doesn't directly benefit them? This was one of the main things that helped me feel steady in my relationship with my partner. His consistency was what helped me see that I could trust him. But in saying that, it did take me a long time to accept that his consistency was real and not part of a longer con. The fear of a more sophisticated abuser, someone who basically plays the long game, is something a lot of survivors carry. And that fear is understandable, because you're trying to prevent the worst case scenario from happening again. What actually differentiates consistency from a performance of consistency is time and pressure. A narcissist's mask will slip. It might take weeks or months, but their behavior will start to shift, even if it's just gradually. And you'll especially notice this when you try to set a boundary, make a request, or you stop performing in a way that they want you to. And a genuinely, consistently safe partner will stay steady throughout all of those moments. If you're watching green flags appear in your new relationship and you still feel your stomach flip, it's not necessarily a time to panic and think that there's something wrong. It just might be a sign that you're lacking enough evidence to fully believe you're with a healthy partner yet. And you need more proof to discount your brain's previous predictions, because seeing one green flag once isn't enough to update a pattern that might have been running for months or for years of learning that kindness is dangerous. So your brain needs repeated evidence, and it needs you to actually notice it and take it in when it happens, so it can start building that new prediction, which is the part most people skip. They see the green flag, they feel the anxiety, and then they focus on the anxiety. And that's because the anxiety always feels louder and more pressing. But the work is in slowing down enough to actually register what's going on in front of you in that moment. So your brain can start filing these green flags as real data rather than just a one-off fluke. That's exactly what this next video is about, which you should watch next. I go deep into why your gut instincts feel so unreliable right now, so you can understand your physiology better, which will give you way more clarity about what you need to do to heal. Plus, I give you 2 exercises to help you implement what I teach you in the video.